Okay, this is the WLToys Q323. You see on the top there it says Falcon HD upgrade. And it's a little bit of a stretch X pattern with tri-blades. It's got a 2300 milliamp 2-cell battery here in the bottom. And we also have a camera up front. And that camera we can control via our remote. This button right here can control its position. You can see it goes down fairly dramatically. That's pointing almost straight down, and then up is not quite level, so it's still down a bit. So this was not necessarily for FPV flying, but for just an aerial view. But this is tri-blades. It feels heavy and substantial. Those arms, I believe, are still plastic, but it's got some heft. A lot of that is going to be battery. This front nose does pull out. Let me see. You just squeeze here and it pulls out, and you can see our antenna on there and then the connection points on the battery. So it's possible that in the future they'll have different camera pods that we can use. I'm going to get this plugged in and set up, and we're going to test it out. So unfortunately I'm not getting anything on the app for the camera, but the Wi-Fi that runs through that same pod did come up and I was able to connect to it. So it looks like I might have a defaulty camera module, but let's give it a try and see what happens. So we're now bound. Should be able to press this button to auto take off. And we do have a bit of a breeze, so it could push it around. You can see right now I'm hands off. We're in the lowest rate, which even though I scanned from the instructions, I might have the wrong app because the app says 30%. But the instructions in the remote say 40% as far as the rates. So let's take a look at those rates. Here's our yaw. It's not nearly as noisy as I thought it would be. You can see the red and green lights there. I'm going to trim it out a bit, see if I can get it a bit more steady. Yeah, that breeze is going to keep going. So let's try the next rate, which is 60%. And then our yaw. Now let's try the highest rate. Whoa. I'm going to bring it up just a bit higher. It doesn't seem to want to hold its altitude when I give it full pitch or full roll. Okay, that's good. Let's try it now. Let it recover a bit. There, yaw right there. That's obviously the direction of the wind is blowing to our left. Let's fly it around a little bit here. Should get a pretty long flight time out of this with that big old honking battery. 2300 mod 2-cell. Especially because the camera's not on. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So you can see it kind of settles into the turns. Let's test the auto landing feature. So we press this button here on the bottom. Not bad, especially in this little breeze. So let's take off. Give a little bit more height. Let's try our flips and rolls. See that little jerk there? Let's see, I wonder if that was the breeze. It kind of, yeah, that's a little better. It must have been the breeze that kind of hung it up there for a moment. Oh, that was a little jerky. That one was a little better. Let's see if we can do any fast forward flight flips and rolls. There we go. It's heavy enough to where it keeps momentum too. Gotta be careful not to hit the neighbor's cars. The yaw rate, in my opinion, is a little bit low on 100% rates for a machine this size. Let's do a barrel roll. Do one coming at us. You might be able to hear that wind on the microphone or see some of the leaves. Unfortunately, I just can't test that camera out, which is a big feature, especially with the ability to adjust the camera from the remote. There isn't an SD card in this one. You would have to be recording on the phone. There is a slot in that pod that looks like it's for an SD card, but there's no mechanical feature in there to hold an SD card. Maybe there's, like I said, maybe there's another pod that they're planning or is available. Whoa, almost got the mailbox. It is pretty cold. Oh, I didn't see that branch. It hung in there though. I know that's probably far away and you can't hardly see it. Machine this size, keeping it close in for line of sight video recording is a little bit challenging. That was a little more closely than I should have done that. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought I was gonna slide into the trees over there. It's pretty cold. I think I was saying that earlier. If we get a shot, we still have some snow sitting on those bricks over there, and I've still got snow in the backyard. We're still flying at 100% rates. Oh, that was a near miss. I guess that would be if you're an airline pilot. That was a near hiss for a quadcopter pilot. The lights actually show up. It's an overcast day, of course. Oh. See that little, right at the end of it, whoa. Right at the end of the turns, it kind of hops. It kind of goes up and down. And that's part of the altitude hold feature. It just doesn't quite have either the response time or the motor thrust, the low torque motor thrust, in order to keep it at that altitude, so it kind of hops there for a second. See those lights there? I hope my camera lens is not foggy by my breath. My fingers are quite cold. I should have worn gloves. I'm really disappointed that camera doesn't work. See how it dropped right there? Oh, that was a mid-flight drop. That's not necessarily unusual for a brushed geared quadcopter. We ask a lot of them. Whoa, almost got me. Oh, I think we might be getting low on battery. I think so, because when I, oh, it's picking up now. I think the range on this is probably going to be more than you get from FPV. Of course, with Wi-Fi FPV, you know, getting more than 30 meters, you're asking a lot. This is the same sort of Wi-Fi signal that you use in your home for data. It's not made for long range. Oh, look at that. It recovered. Didn't get hung up. Even though those tri-blades act like a grappling hook. Good fun. Flies pretty well. I actually think the battery might be a bit heavy. That might be actually reducing its agility. So if you're an experienced line of sight flyer, you might find this isn't quite as agile as you'd like. Because like that turn right there that I did close in. See how it sinks back into the turn? That's just weight. It doesn't have enough thrust via the motors or props in order to counter that. To react real quickly. Whoop! Did you see that? I thought something flew off. Well, apparently it detected a crash. Let's try to take off again. Hey, no problems. Durability test. Wow. That was a pretty speedy crash too. I hope I caught that on the camera. That's pilot error. Can't blame that on the wind. I just brought it in too close too fast. Oh, thought I had that mailbox, so that stone mailbox over there. I should be doing side to side so you can see a little better. I'm sure you can't hardly see that. It's probably just a speck when it gets all the way across the cul-de-sac. My fingers are getting really cold. We've got about a 10 or a 15 mile an hour breeze, and it kicks up above that every now and again. It's about 35 degrees out, I think. It was predicted to be warmer, but oh boy, I'm coming close a lot. I'm surprised I've only hit one mailbox. Oh, bam, another durability test. I think I broke something this time. I see a propeller sitting the wrong way. Yeah, broke it. Well, that's that for today, huh? Battery shifted forward. Oh, my fingers are freezing. From the looks of it, that looks repairable. And I was being careless. I'm sure you're going to let me know in the comments down below how careless I was being, flying so close to the trees. But when I fly line of sight, I find myself, that's what I like to do. I just want to go in and around and close to things. That's how I fly FPV too. But this is the WLToys Q323, and unfortunately my camera doesn't work. And if I can repair that motor, I'll comment it in the sections, and if I can get the camera working, I'll bring it back out. Okay, we're back inside after that horrible crash, and I've done the repairs, and it really wasn't too bad. You can see that we've got a little bit missing out of the motor pod here, so that's not great, especially if we have any moisture in the area. But all I did was kind of finagle the wires. This piece cracked here, and then it cracked up here. So I just used a little super glue in some strategic spots to make sure that I could still remove this if I needed to swap out a motor. And something interesting about this is you can actually see it right there. The motors have little connectors. So if you did need to replace a motor, you don't have to go clear up the arm. The arm has a natural split right here. Hopefully you can see that in camera. And I just had to fish the wires back through there, and then I went ahead and wrapped it in electrical tape. Something else that I learned, my camera wasn't working when I was outside, and it has this kind of interesting little camera pod that comes in and out, and I was able to get Wi-Fi, but you can see we have multiple connection points back here, and you probably can't see it, but inside the vehicle there's male connection points that go to this, but my wire was down like this, so it was down covering some of those, so I'm not sure how I got a Wi-Fi connection. It showed the UFO Wi-Fi connection, and I was able to connect to it, but the camera just didn't operate. So what I've done is I've kind of angled this antenna up this way because there is a recess. Let me see if I can get a flashlight and show that to you. Hopefully you can see that. There's a recess in there. And there's actually another antenna as well in the flight control board. So I just have this wire up in the air, so it should go into that recess, and then that allowed me to get the camera working. And it slides right back in. So really, yeah, I did lose some spinners too. You'll see here on the back side. The spinners must have popped off when it came down in the crash, and I couldn't find them all. I only found 2. The other 2 must have landed in the grass because I couldn't sort out where they were. But we do get a look at how the props are connected here. Need a little wrench or something to unscrew those. And we do have, if we look at this one, a fair amount of some sort of lubricant. You can see it's a little bit shiny in here. But I've already flown it once, and it worked out pretty good. I'm going to take it back outside, and we're going to capture some footage so that you can see how the camera looks. Okay, I got everything working again. We got our repairs made. Maybe you can see that screen just a little bit. I've got the brightness turned all the way up, and I've got the camera currently facing as far up as it can go. So let's get some video of this guy. So one key take, oh, let's start a recording. Make sure that's going. Okay, we have some red up here. You probably can't see that. It's counting down, so take off. It's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. I'm going to change the rates to the mid rates. I'm going to go up a little bit. I'm going to go up a little bit higher so we can get a little bit more video. Kind of cutting out on my screen a little bit. I'm getting some jitters, if you can see that. Well, it seems, yeah, I can't get the camera to go any more up. It seems like an awful lot of down angle from that height. We'll see if the video's as jittery as this is, but go up even higher. Okay, I'm going to bring it down a bit. I'm going to take it a little bit forward. And then we're going to adjust the camera down. So you can see that does work. Not much good looking, not much use looking at the street though. Okay, let's stop the video recording. and take a picture. I don't know if it did it, so I'm going to try again. There's no on-screen response to the picture, just kind of the button depresses or makes it look like it depresses. So we'll see if we got any of those. So it's obviously very cloudy today, and we do have a pretty good breeze again. Up close, I'm noticing the video screen is much more fluid, or the signal is apparently strong enough to where the resulting video is a lot more fluid. Let's see what kind of funnels it does. Not much. It's a big heavy unit, so it's going to resist wind a little bit. And it's not really made to be all that agile, I don't think. Holy cow. Got a little bit of a wind taking me up there. Bring it back down. Hopefully the microphone on the head cam isn't washing out via the wind. Alright, let's go to the highest rates. Let's try that funnel. Well, that's a little bit better. It's just not enough pitch and roll to go full throttle and do a funnel. But if you're looking for a pretty long flight time, a 2300 milliamp 2S battery, if you're not video recording, you could actually take the camera pod out and probably get more flight time. See how it slides into those turns when you're getting that? There's just a lot of weight there with that battery. The altitude hold feature does a decent job of spinning the motors up. There's just not quite enough torque. Oh, this could be a crash right here. Oh. So my terrible careless piloting and my big crash at the very least shows you that if you do have a big crash like that, the repairs are manageable. I think it probably took me 25 minutes, and most of that was just kind of finagling the wires back in place. Throw a little glue on there to make sure I didn't completely glue the entire motor pod, so if I needed to, I could replace the motor, the gears that are inside there. Unfortunately, I don't have one full long flight with this. The weather's so cold that, whoa, I get a little uncomfortable. Well, I get a lot uncomfortable with my hands. I'll put the advertised flight time on the screen, but from what I've seen so far, I think we were out here for 12 minutes last time. So you're going to get probably 5 or 10 minutes more than that. Let's do a forward flip. That I do like. I do like that it's got enough weight and momentum that we can do some fast forward flight flips and rolls. With smaller, lighter copters, you just can't do that in this ready to fly area. Oh, got a little close to the neighbor's car. I'm hopeful that with the overcast you can see this thing with its lights a little bit better, so you get a little better measure of how it does fly. Yesterday it might have been a little bit too bright to see this. I'm actually not getting that far away. Let's do a forward flight flip right at us. Whoa, 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 what was that? Holy catfish. And if you're curious, I don't have the video recording going, but I do have Wi-Fi that. Let's start another video. I want to see how the camera does when we do a flip. So I'm starting another video. I'm going to go over here. Let's go forward flight. While I'm watching the vehicle, I'm trying to watch the screen too. And the camera is responding. It's still recording, so you can do flips and rolls with this vehicle while flying and video recording. You can't do that with all of them. There's some sequence I'm doing that you hear that tone, hopefully, where it gives you the double beep or a continuous beep. That's an indication it's going to flip more than once, so maybe I'm holding the button or pressing it too hard. It's odd that after 20 minutes of flying this thing, I've experienced that. Now I can't make it do it again. Well, there we go. Whoa! Whoa! Look at the screen now. Well, let's see what damage I did. Ouch! Well, I lost another spinner. Still recording. Or maybe not, yeah. Still recording. Let's see if we can take off again. Probably have to rebind. There we go. I got a looky-loo. Oh, I need to change the rates. Excuse me. So pretty robust too, you know, I've demonstrated a few crashes. This is the WLToys. It's my first WLToys Q323 from Gear Best. Let's do a forward roll. Yeah, it was again. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's the camera. Okay, I've stopped the video recording. Let's try again. Now that one was fine, even though it beeped a couple of times. Okay, I think I figured it out. If you hit the button, and in my case, because I'm moving forward, and then I reverse to do the back flip, and then I hit forward again, it tends to flip back, then forward, then back. I think I need to slow my fingers down a bit. If I do it too fast, it accepts too many commands, so let's rebind and launch again. I am putting this thing through some abuse. Alright, change the rates again. So let's try this again. Okay, yeah. I've got to let the stick recenter, if just only for a moment, before I press forward again. Otherwise, it takes it as 2 commands. So I'm glad we were able to sort that out. So if I go too quickly to hit the back flip and the forward flight and then go back to forward, it will go back flip, then forward flip, and possibly one more. We've seen it do 3 flips and then land, or not land, but crash. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to go out in the street a little bit, see if I can get closer to this. I need to go the other side. I'm a little bit... Okay, turn around, bring it back. There we go, that's how we do it. Oh no. Alright, we got LVC. So we got a full flight in today, even with my frozen fingers. Let's see what it does. Is it going to land itself? I'm going to bring it down a little bit just in case it doesn't land itself cleanly. Need to trim too. And I've had image on my screen pretty much the whole time. Oh man, now I'm getting cold, that breeze. I'm going to turn my back to the breeze here. Will it still do a flip? Let's try that. Nope. Nope, no flips. So LVC, no flips. There we go. That was a self land. I didn't do that. Not bad. So many crashes, dinged up props. Still flies like it's brand new out of the box. Huh. Still getting video even after LVC and everything. You know, there's going to be a delay. Wi-Fi, FPV, there's always a delay. If this is your first machine, don't expect to actually be able to fly it very well if you're just watching the screen, and the range is going to be very limited. You're going to be able to see it further than you will have FPV range. Okay. Falcon HD upgrade, otherwise known as the WLToys Q323. 2300 mAh 2S battery. Pretty hefty little quad too. Alright, if you have any questions or comments, leave those in the section down below, and I thank you for watching. Hey. Yeah, I broke it. Oh well, I was flying carelessly. And my fingers are really cold.